My dear, have you ever wondered why some people react negatively to your presence without reason? Why your confidence, your peace, or even your smile seems to stir discomfort in others? Let me tell you something. If you're walking in God's purpose, it's not you they dislike. It's the light of God in you that irritates the demons in them. This speech is for God's chosen ones. Those who feel misunderstood, rejected, or opposed despite their good intentions. By the end of this talk, you will not only understand why this happens, but you'll be equipped to stand firm, knowing you're on the right path. So, stay with me, because this revelation might change the way you view. God's chosen ones carry a divine light within them that is not only undeniable, but also transformative. This light is not something they earn through their own efforts, but a reflection of God's purpose and presence in their lives. It manifests as a sense of peace, wisdom, and clarity that stands out in a world often consumed by confusion and darkness. This light is not meant to be hidden or diminished. It is meant to shine, to illuminate the paths of others, and to bring hope where despair resides. The light within God's chosen is not ordinary. It is powerful, resilient, and radiant. It comes from a deeper connection to God, a spiritual alignment that empowers them to live with purpose, integrity, This light has a profound effect on the world around them, and it is not always welcomed. In fact, it often disrupts the status quo. People who are accustomed to living in spiritual or emotional darkness may feel threatened by this divine illumination. The chosen ones don't even have to say a word. Their mere presence can stir discomfort, reveal hidden insecurities, or challenge the compromises others have made with mediocrity or sin. This reaction is not because of the person themselves, but because the light they carry exposes what is hidden. It acts as a mirror, forcing those around them to confront truths they may not be ready to face. The light carried by God's chosen also attracts those in need of guidance, healing, and encouragement. People are drawn to this light like moths to a flame because it represents something they deeply long for: hope, love, and a sense of purpose. The chosen ones often find themselves becoming beacons for others, leading them toward paths of righteousness and restoration. But this role is not without its challenges. While some are drawn to the light for positive reasons, others may seek to extinguish it out of jealousy, fear, or a resistance to change. This is where the true strength of God's chosen is tested, as they must continue to shine even in the face of opposition. Carrying this light also means being set apart, often in ways that feel isolating or even painful. The chosen ones may find themselves misunderstood, criticized, or targeted, but these challenges are a part of the calling. The light within them is not just for their own benefit. It is a gift meant to impact the world and bring glory to God. The chosen ones are vessels of His purpose, carrying out His will and reflecting His character in everything they do. This light does not waver or diminish in the face of adversity. Instead, it grows stronger as the chosen ones lean into their faith and trust in God's plan. God's chosen ones are not ordinary individuals. They are carriers of a divine light that disrupts darkness, heals wounds, and brings hope. This light is both a blessing and a responsibility, one that requires them to remain steadfast, courageous, and committed to their calling. Demons, whether spiritual or metaphorical, can recognize God's anointed ones because the light within them stands in stark contrast to darkness. This recognition is not always overt or conscious in the people influenced by these forces, but it manifests in their actions, attitudes, and reactions. The presence of a chosen individual often disrupts environments where darkness has been comfortable. This disruption is not because of anything the chosen ones deliberately do to provoke it, but because the spiritual power they carry threatens the strongholds of negativity, deceit, and sin. It's a spiritual clash, and the tension is inevitable. When demons recognize the anointed, their first reaction is often one of resistance. This resistance can come in subtle forms, such as people suddenly becoming cold, dismissive, or critical for no apparent reason. It can also escalate into overt hostility, where chosen individuals are attacked verbally, emotionally, or even physically. This is because the light carried by the anointed exposes what is hidden. Darkness thrives in secrecy and denial, but the presence of God's chosen forces, hidden motives, insecurities, and spiritual deficiencies into the open. This exposure is not something darkness welcomes, and it fights back with all its might. The recognition of God's anointed also causes a reaction because demons understand the potential of the chosen ones. They see the influence, power, and transformation that these individuals can bring to the world. The chosen are not just ordinary people. They are instruments of divine purpose. They are placed in specific situations and environments to challenge the status quo, bring healing to the broken, and inspire others to seek truth and righteousness. This potential makes them a target. Spiritual forces opposing God's work aim to distract, discourage, and destroy the chosen ones before they can fully step into their calling. In recognizing the anointed, demons often try to isolate them. This can happen through strained relationships, feelings of loneliness, or creating situations where the chosen ones feel unsupported and misunderstood. Isolation is a powerful tactic because it makes individuals question their worth, their purpose, and even their faith. However, it's important to remember that being set apart is a hallmark of being chosen. The very things that make the chosen ones feel isolated are often the indicators of their divine purpose. Their difference is not a flaw. It's evidence of their calling. Another reaction is the stirring of chaos and confusion around God's anointed. This can manifest as misunderstandings, false accusations, or unexpected challenges. These obstacles are not random. They are deliberate attempts to derail the chosen from their path. Demons recognize that if they can sow enough confusion or create enough hardship, they might be able to cause the chosen to give up or lose focus. Yet, in these moments, the strength of the anointed is revealed. Their reliance on God and their faith becomes their anchor, allowing them to persevere despite the turmoil around them. Demons recognize the anointed because they can't ignore the authority they carry. This authority comes from God and is evident in the way the chosen ones impact others. Their words carry weight, their actions inspire change, and their presence brings peace or conviction. This authority is not just about power, it's about purpose. The anointed are on a mission, and their very existence is a threat to darkness. This recognition fuels opposition, but it also confirms the importance of their role. In the face of such recognition, God's chosen must remain steadfast. The opposition they face is not a sign of failure, but evidence of their significance in the spiritual battle. Demons may recognize and react to the anointed, but they cannot overcome the power of God within them. The chosen ones are not alone. They are equipped, protected, and guided by a divine presence that ensures their ultimate victory. When God's chosen ones walk in their purpose, they often provoke strong reactions from those around them. These reactions are not accidental. They are the result of spiritual forces at work. Demons, whether seen as literal entities or the negative influences in people's hearts and minds, respond in specific ways to the light and authority carried by the anointed. There are 5 primary ways demons react, and recognizing these responses is crucial for the chosen to stay grounded and focused on their mission. The first reaction is envy. When people sense the peace, joy, or confidence that comes from being aligned with God, it often exposes their own lack of fulfillment or unresolved insecurities. This envy can manifest in subtle ways, such as passive-aggressive remarks or more overt actions like attempts to undermine the chosen. The light within the chosen shines so brightly that it inadvertently highlights areas of darkness in others, making them feel inadequate or resentful. This isn't about material success or achievements, it's about the spiritual wealth that God's chosen exude, which can make others feel threatened or excluded. Hostility is another common reaction. Demons in people are disturbed by the presence of God's chosen, and this disturbance often triggers anger or aggression. The hostility may seem irrational or unwarranted, but is a direct result of the spiritual clash taking place. People influenced by negative forces may lash out, criticize, or try to intimidate the chosen to disrupt their sense of peace and purpose. This hostility is not a reflection of the chosen's actions, but rather an indicator of the impact their presence has in unsettling darkness. It's a spiritual resistance that can feel deeply personal, but is actually aimed at the light within them. Confusion is a third way demons react. This often takes the form of rumors, lies, or attempts to twist the chosen's words and intentions. By creating an atmosphere of doubt and misrepresentation, demons aim to undermine the chosen's influence and credibility. This tactic is designed to make the chosen question their path and to sow discord among those who might otherwise support them. Confusion is a powerful tool because it distracts the chosen from their mission, forcing them to spend energy defending themselves or clarifying misunderstandings instead of focusing on their purpose. Manipulation is another reaction that is frequently encountered. Demons often work through others to manipulate God's chosen, using flattery, guilt, or fear to try to control their actions. The goal is to divert the chosen from their God-given purpose and align them with agendas that serve darkness rather than light. Manipulation can be subtle, making it difficult to recognize at first. It may come from people who appear to have good intentions, but are ultimately seeking to exploit the chosen's gifts and influence for their own benefit. Recognizing manipulation requires discernment and a strong connection to God, as well as the courage to set boundaries. The final reaction is isolation. Demons seek to isolate God's chosen because they understand the power of community and support. By creating feelings of loneliness or fostering rejection, they aim to make the chosen question their worth and their calling. Isolation can be one of the most challenging reactions to endure because it often comes from unexpected places, such as family, friends, or trusted colleagues. This isolation is not a punishment, it is often a period of preparation. God uses these moments to strengthen the chosen, deepen their faith, and refine their character. While isolation may feel like a setback, it is often a necessary step in fulfilling their divine mission. These 5 reactions, envy, hostility, confusion, manipulation, and isolation, are not random occurrences. They are deliberate strategies used by spiritual forces to derail God's chosen ones. Understanding these responses allows the chosen to recognize the spiritual battle they are in and to respond with wisdom and faith. Rather than being discouraged by these reactions, the chosen should see them as confirmation of their purpose. The opposition they face is a testament to the light they carry and the work they are called to do. Demons may react, but they cannot overpower the power of God within the chosen. The presence of God's chosen ones often triggers deep, sometimes unconscious, discomfort in others because their very being exposes hidden truths. The light that the chosen carry is not merely a metaphor. It is a divine presence that brings clarity, challenges falsehoods, and reveals what lies beneath the surface. This exposure is not something the chosen actively seek to accomplish. It happens naturally as a result of their alignment with God. Their words, actions, and even their silence can serve as a mirror that reflects the hearts of those around them. For some, this revelation is a catalyst for transformation. But for others, it is a source of agitation and resistance. People living in spiritual or emotional darkness often construct elaborate facades to hide their pain, fears, or moral compromises. These facades allow them to navigate the world without confronting the deeper issues within themselves. When they encounter a chosen one, these facades are challenged. The chosen do not even have to speak directly about these hidden issues. Their very presence radiates truth, forcing others to see what they have long buried. This process is deeply unsettling, as it disrupts the comfortable illusion that many rely on to avoid self-examination. For some, this exposure leads to anger or defensiveness, as they resist the discomfort of facing their own truths. The discomfort caused by the chosen is not limited to individuals. It often extends to systems, cultures, and environments. Institutions built on compromise, corruption, or deceit are particularly vulnerable to the presence of God's anointed. Their light reveals the cracks in these systems, the injustices that have been normalized, and the complacency that allows darkness to persist. Sati says, to look at the world through the rainbow evil eyes, does it lead us into... This revelation can provoke strong opposition because it threatens the power structures that benefit from maintaining the status quo. The chosen may find themselves unwelcome in certain spaces, not because of any wrongdoing on their part, but because their presence disrupts the equilibrium of darkness. This dynamic is not only about exposing external issues, it also impacts interpersonal relationships. The chosen often find that their relationships undergo significant shifts as they walk in their purpose. Friends, family, or colleagues who are not ready to confront their own spiritual or emotional struggles may distance themselves or